Welcome to JAR Families, Session 1, All Kinds of Families. For this lesson, you will need the following materials: your volunteer guidebook, your student table tents, the junior journal packet, and be prepared to access the digital presentation for the session found at learn.ja.org. You can work with your classroom teacher to determine whether you or your teacher will be responsible for pulling up the digital presentation each time you visit the classroom. We recommend asking the teacher to have the presentation ready for you if possible. To aid in the presentation and facilitation of your lesson, you'll see that in the guidebook, there are blue text boxes, which represent Junior Achievement of South Dakota's teaching tips, as well as yellow boxes that represent our technology tips, and they cover things that aren't in our guidebook already. In Session 1, All Kinds of Families, students will be learning about how families are alike and different, and students will get to explore roles within their families and neighborhood. First, you will greet students and tell them a bit about yourself, your family, and your job. Consider bringing in a photo of your family to share with students. You could even send a photo of your family to the classroom teacher to display on the screen when you come into the classroom. This is also a great time to hand out the student name tents and have students write their first names on them. They are provided in your material packet, and please note to the students that they will have to fold them, and we call it hot dog style, and then they can write their first name on here. Please make sure to collect the name tents and either take them with you or leave them with the teacher for each time you visit. This slideshow shows a picture of the junior journal packet. You will need this later on in the lesson. I recommend handing the junior journal packet out later so that it doesn't become distracting for your students if you hand it out right now. The next slide showcases this session's vocabulary terms. This slide is interactive and provides an opportunity for students to come up and select each vocabulary word to reveal the definition. I recommend asking students to think about how they would define each of the terms before you call on them. You might even ask students to think about what the terms mean and then share with a shoulder partner about what they think the word means before you call on anyone to reveal the answers. This works especially well if your classroom does not have an interactive screen available, so get those students talking rather than just calling on one student. Get everyone engaged in the vocabulary part of this lesson. Please be sensitive to students' family definitions. Family may include a group of people with different last names, different home addresses, or even close friends. Anybody who cares for you and loves for you. Stress the positive side of family relationships and remind students that it's normal to have different kinds of families. Next up is our Explore a Neighborhood activity. Students will see a neighborhood and will get to meet all the people who live and work there. Prompt students to look at the map on the screen and have them describe what they see. Starting with Grandpa Nash, ask students to find the character you described for them using the prompts found in your volunteer guidebook. If possible, have students come up to the interactive board to click on the people they are looking for. Consider sharing your own examples for each of the prompts in addition to calling on the students to share. You may also consider having students share their own examples with their shoulder partner before calling on a few students to share with the class. Some classroom teachers may also have a system to help randomly and fairly call on students, such as popsicle sticks, that you might also be able to utilize as well during your time in the classroom. Prompt students to think about how a happy neighborhood makes them feel. You could also extend this question by asking them how a happy classroom makes them feel, and consider connecting the two concepts with one another. Review the lesson with students and tell them that they will be learning about the wants and needs of family members in the next lesson. If time allows, have students complete the My Flag activity in their junior journal packet. So you can hand it out at this point in the lesson. Students can draw or write symbols and words that represent their family. They can draw stick figures of their family if they'd like. They could color a square in with their favorite color. An activity, they might want to draw an activity that they enjoyed doing with their families, so on and so forth. There are 6 boxes for them to fill. If there is not time at the end of your lesson, you can have students color their flag when they take the junior journal home after the 5th session, or when they have extra time in class. Remember, either you or the teacher should collect the junior journals and name tents at the end of every lesson, since it will be needed for the following sessions.